Why, hello, everybody! This is Missy Jin, and welcome to another episode of MumboDjumbo that's teaching you a BO. Well, today we're going to talk about, well, okay, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I know that on the screen right now is Stardew Valley. It's a great farming simulator, interesting, and if it's your cup of tea, it's great. If it's not, it's not. It just came out on Android recently, and, well, I could give you an impressions video or my thoughts video on the game, but that's not what this is about. This is not my impressions or my thoughts. This is random thoughts. Sometimes when you buy a game or you get a game, you sometimes have these thoughts that pop up in your head. Just pop up in there, pop up. Just, you don't know. You just don't know why they come there, but you think about it anyway. So, honestly, I'm not talking about Stardew Valley, just kind of having it in the background, but these thoughts came up when I started to see this game and play the game, and, well, I just kind of want to share those thoughts with you. I know, kind of cheap, but hey, you gotta get people to listen to your stuff somehow. Sorry. A lot of my videos are gonna be like this, gonna be random thoughts. There might be other things too, but right now, I think this would be the easiest thing to do, because I don't have a lot of money, guys. I just don't. I kind of have to make do with what I got. I mean, I'm editing all this stuff on mobile, for crying out loud. Seriously, I'm using a mobile phone for all this stuff, so it's kind of difficult. But, okay, we blathered on enough about it. Let's get into my random thoughts when playing Stardew Valley. Or at least the first 30 minutes, because that's pretty much where I get. But, anywho, so what was the first thought that came in my mind? Finally, this game came out. Came out on March 14th this year, I believe. Can't really remember. I think it actually came out the 12th. Somewhere around there. But I was thinking about, finally, we finally got this game. This game finally came out. And it's a worldwide sensation. It's been a very popular game with people that kind of want to remember the old-fashioned days, back when pixels were the thing, and just back to the old style of Super Nintendo, things that were more simpler, less complex. And a lot of indie developers, such as the guy who made this game, decided to do. And I really appreciate it for it. I mean, a lot of indie developers have done this type of stuff. It's really interesting. It goes back for people that want to have the old sensations back, the nostalgia. And he kind of did it because he had that same inkling. He said he kind of wanted to have something like Harvest Moon. You know, the one by Mizune. Kind of gone downhill since they kind of parted ways with each other. The people actually produced the game and the people that actually released it. So he said, I kind of wanted to make something that reminded me of those old games. And other games that kind of got influences. There's other influences there too. But mostly it's a farming simulator. And as I said, if you love it, you hate it, whatever. But I mean, I liked it a lot, but I just don't have a lot of time to play it. Because I have other activities I have to do, such as these videos. And a job. That type of thing too. So I can't really sit too long and do these type of things. But going back to the situation here, I mean, the idea of nostalgia really breathes life into these type of games. And indie developers usually give you that type of leeway, that type of interesting motivation to want to go back to these type of things, especially if you're an older gamer like myself who wants to see the old stuff again. And indie developers usually kind of scratch that itch. Newer game developers don't seem to really care too much about that. They want to do this AAA games that have high-end graphics and look great and blah blah blah. But some of my favorite games, at least they came out, are all games that are not the highest devices. In fact, I play most of my games on mobile and on my Switch. In fact, that's all I have is a Switch. So I'm not about the graphics, I'm about the gameplay. And these people get it. Just as this guy. He gets it. He gets that idea that we want these games and we want them now. That type of thing. But when I said finally, what did I mean by that? Well, finally got it on here with when I said about the release date, but did you know that it's not just wasn't released on mobile, it was released on Android? I mean, if you saw my little thumbnail, you see that I put Google Play. I didn't put Apple. Because, why? Because Apple got it about 7 months earlier than Android users did. Yes, that's another thing that kind of grinds my gears, or hits me where it hurts, or whatever you want to say. I really don't like it that we always kind of, us as Android users, never get these games at the same time or before Apple. Yes, there has been some games, I will admit, that have come out on Android recently, but a lot of these other games, especially the most popular ones, always come out on Apple first. And I always wondered, why in the world did they come out like that? Honestly, I understand Apple is. I understand from the developer starting point that Apple's a lot easier to develop for. There's not a lot of devices. They use the same operating system, very similar specs in regards to the chips. Understandable. But at the same time, it's no longer as necessary as it once was. Because, unfortunately, for a lot of people, people have Android devices. Android devices come in different price ranges and can play certain games. Some games can't play on certain Android devices because they're not good enough for those type of things. But they can still be used in ways like for this game, like Stardew Valley. But it just kind of gets me nervous because nowadays a lot more people probably have Androids than Apples. And I'm not trying to make an assumption. I mean, seriously, I'm not trying to make an assumption. Nothing at all like that. I could make an assumption, but I won't. I mean, the prices of smartphones have gone up tremendously. Have you seen how much it costs for an iPhone XS or XR? Those things are ridiculously expensive. I mean, my phone that I bought about less than a year ago has been through the Essential Phone PH1, which no longer exists anymore. But I got it for $300, which was only $700, and that was really a high-end price point. But it's not like that anymore. I mean, these phones are $1,000 more, and most people are not going to be able to afford that. Most people are going to buy the cheaper phones. So, and most of the time, cheaper phones are Androids because Apple doesn't have any cheap phones. So, I still can't understand that mentality there because most people are going to be playing Android devices and their game will be distributed among those. But as I said, I kind of have the idea I know why, because all these Android devices have different operating systems. I know it uses a core of Android, but at the same time, some uses some updated or altered Android system that works for their devices only, like Samsung or Action OS, Mint OS. Those type of things are a little bit different than the average Android experience, basic necessity. But if you develop this for the base Android, I think it would probably work for most of us. But that's just me. I don't know how that works. But I still get kind of ticked off that it always gets stuff last. And honestly, by the time it comes out on Android, it's been like a year, and in gaming community terms, that's pretty much, you're dead. You're prehistoric. You're out in the ozone somewhere. We don't care no more. You're old news. You're old news, sirs. But, I digress. Alright. So, I talked about those things. Another thing that came to my mind was the idea of its price point. I know it doesn't seem like a big deal. A lot of mobile games are usually less in price. This is no different. It was about $6. I mean, it does not have the multiplayer, sad voice, but it does have everything else. Everything else is in there. It's working, and well, it just works really well. Considering that you've been seeing the screen for a long time, the touch controls actually work pretty decently. Not the greatest. I mean, I understand it's not for everybody, but I'm not going to talk about touch control because that's another video in itself, but it works pretty well. Works well, and it also, because of the price point, it's really accessible, especially for people that can't afford some of the games on other consoles. And on the go, for crying out loud, you can play the game on the go. And that's a really good thing. But the real reason why I brought up the idea of the price point was, it has a price point, and it has no IAPS, or in-app purchases. I hate in-app purchases, unless it's like buying a new episode or something, like you do Life is Strange, or Life is Strange Before the Storm, or Tales of the Borderlands, that type of thing. you have in-game transactions so you can buy the rest of the episodes. I have no problem with that. But these free-to-play game mechanics where you have to buy more and more stuff and it just reused and reused, I hate that. I despise that. Oh gosh, do I despise it. It just makes me want to just curl up into a ball and wish that everything was back in the old days of the 90s where we just got a game and that's what you got. You know, you bought the game for a certain amount of money, you played it, and that's what you got. I mean, DLC were great and everything, but then this in-app purchase microtransaction thing makes me just want to just somehow go back in time, go back to the old days when games were just the way that they were, and that's what you got. Some of the best games that are out now, or even games that there was at one time, are games that came out in the early 2000s, late and early 90s. They're not these new games because these new games just don't have the pizzazz anymore. They don't have the grip on it anymore. When it becomes out, it's popular, it's interesting, but then the next thing comes out, everyone forgets about it because it's not as anchoring, it's not as gripping as it was before, because now things keep coming out quicker and quicker and quicker. Everyone wants the newest thing out, and they want to get the newest thing out so they become on top. And, well, it's kind of ruined the experience of gaming for me in general. I mean, nobody wants to play the old stuff anymore. Well, the old new stuff, like a year or two ago. The old stuff, like in the 90s. Well, Stardew Valley is a great example of this. People still want to play it. People are still playing it, even to this day. And they keep bringing up new updates, free updates, I might add. And it just really makes you appreciate the time and effort someone put into these things, the time and love and passion for the projects. And it kind of reminds you back of when it was in the 90s, where people took time with this stuff, and they were able to sit down with it for long periods of time. You had to wait a while for these games to develop, and got to get to know it, got to love it like a brother. Nowadays, that's just not the case anymore. And this better case than none is that the in-app purchase is pretty much proved this point. It's all about, not about enjoying the game, about making a product of creation, of something that you hold dear. It's now just about making money off of it and throwing it into the garbage when it's all said and done, or when its use is over. It's kind of sad, really. But, I just don't know what to think about that anymore. It's kind of sad. Kind of sad. But chin up, everybody.
Yeah, it's not all that bad. I mean, we have games like Stardew Valley here. So, yeah, doesn't have any microtransactions, and everyone should be happy about that. I should really go on about that idea of mobile and microtransactions, but that's for a later time and later date. I don't really want to talk about that right now. I just feel finally we have people who really, really want to make something great and have finally done so. I mean, Stardew Valley is a great example of this, but other games are like Portal Knights and Evil Land 2, Life is Strange even. Yeah, Life is Strange is on mobile, ironically enough, but I shouldn't count that one because that's Square Enix. Yeah, I shouldn't count that one. That's definitely should be on my list, but what's another good one? Thinking. Let's think. I can't come with anything. Yeah, I shouldn't have counted Life is Strange, but I guess it has that old, more interesting feel to it. It's more about the gameplay than the graphics and stuff like that, but, you know, I can say what I want of these things. I mean, this is my random thoughts. I mean, I just have random thoughts, you know. But, with all that, I mean, with the idea of just having developers making for the fact of just making games like this and finally getting it on the Android, and just the idea of loving what they do and lovingly doing the craft and getting their own jobs and careers because of what they're doing, it makes you feel like there is some hope for the gaming industry after all. And that is why I'm here. Thank everything that is good that is happening. this has been Missing Jin. And I'll see you all later. Like, comment, subscribe, because you'll never know what'll come out of my mouth.